G'day, I'm sitting here in Lancel in Western Australia, and I've decided to do an Instagram live stream where people can ask me a whole lot of questions. So what I'm doing is taking the questions that they ask here on this phone on Instagram, but I'm answering you on YouTube. So if you're ready, let's get into it. What is the easiest place to meet drivers? Well, there are two places. It's Melbourne at the Melbourne Walk, and it's also the Green Carpet in Austria. Those are the two places where you can reliably see not all, but most of the drivers if you're prepared to put in the time. Who do I think will fare better, Oscar or Lando? I think it's too early to tell. I know that Oscar had an amazing career prior to taking up with McLaren, so I think he's certainly going to put some pressure on Lando, but I think Lando's had such experience in that car, it's going to be some time before Oscar will be competitive. But maybe by mid-year, he'll be around the mark. Wouldn't it be great if he got a podium? Or certainly for me, as an Australian, I would love to see him on the podium sometime this year. What do I do in the F1 off-season? Well, I pretty much spend all my time here in Lancel and on the beach in Perth working on F1 stuff for the following year. In fact, I've done a video on that, and if you have a look down below, I'll provide a link. Someone's asked, what is my most awkward moment? I can tell you that a driver pulled me aside going back to Imola and had a chat with me about something that I had sent to another social media site. He was upfront about it, and I thought it was great that he did come to me and we solved it at that moment. And I think I gave him a letter a couple of weeks later that just once again thanked him. So I won't say what it's about, but at the time I thought, oh, I've come to someone's attention. Do they allow lenses and cameras in the grandstands? Yes, but have a look on the back of your ticket when you go. It says, no long lenses. Now, I laugh when I see that because I know people get turned away at the gate for having long lenses, and I'm talking 300, 400, up to 600s. But then again, I see in Japan, look at this picture here, so many people with cameras. But I think these are actually camera clubs. Do I get time to chat with the drivers? Yes. And often it's late at night or early in the morning, and only when there are very few other media around, because the last thing I want to do is be in a shot with 30 or 40 photographers where they get angry because I'm mucking up their shot. And it might be that I have a genuine thing to chat to a driver about that I'm working with, but still, even then, you say, look, let's chat once we get past all the photographers or media. Which two drivers would I choose if I was a team boss? Asks somebody here on Instagram. Two drivers, well, what for? For driving, I'd have Lewis and Max, because they're clearly the two best. Personality, I'd have Lando and Daniel. Do I get tired of people approaching me in the paddock? And the answer is no, because it doesn't happen that often. Although I do get a little bit annoyed when they do it while I'm trying to take a photo. And I've seen drivers who are doing something, and people just come up and they grab them by the shoulder and they just yank them away. And the driver says, I'm just talking to someone. Oh, can I get a selfie? I'm talking to someone. So it just amazes me that some people don't have courtesy in certain situations. Best fan experience? Oh, it's line ball, but immediately the first thought is Zandvoort, because I love the colour and I love the enthusiasm of the fans, but Japan also comes to mind too because of the pure passion that the fans have for the great racing that you get on that circuit, and the whole place is amazing. Somebody said, have I lost anything while overseas? Yes. Well, I didn't lose it. Some bugger stole it from me in Mexico City. I was shooting that Sergio Perez street run. Was that 2021? Yeah. I had it in my back pocket as I walked through a crowd, and I got through the crowd and I thought, oh shit, I better not leave that in my back pocket. So I put it in my front pocket. I was shooting some other stuff. A minute or so later, went for my phone, not there. So they missed it in my back pocket, which would have been an easy get, and they got it out of the front one. Have I ever done a hot lap? No, but I have driven the Melbourne Grand Prix track with my son Jace in the car because I had a rally car. It was this Evo 9. But it was a marvellous experience, and we got to do about 5 or 6 laps of the track during a Grand Prix weekend. Do drivers ever ask for pictures? Yes. A number of them have in the past. I work with some of them, so obviously I have a commercial arrangement with them. But occasionally a driver will say, oh, did you get a picture of this? And I'll go, yes, and we'll do a deal of some sort. I remember Valtteri Bottas asked for a picture of his crash with George Russell, and Valtteri said to me, Was it loud? And I said, yes, it was loud. And I thought that was an unusual question to get from a driver because obviously they've got a helmet on, they've got earplugs in, they don't know what the sound was like. I did, because I was right near it. Will I go back to Indianapolis? Yes, because there's a race after Miami in Indianapolis, so I've got the weekend off. So I'm planning to go there, and I know Pato pretty well, and Roman, and Marcus Ericsson, and Colton Herter. So there'd be some good content for me there. Was Zhou's crash my scariest? I think for proximity and noise, it was the Valtteri George Russell crash, but Zhou, I was focused on him and photographing it. It was quite mighty. And it went on for a long time. And as you know, that car ended up just down in front of where we were in the first turn photography grandstand. Yeah, it was a pretty amazing moment. What was the first ever shot that I took? Well, it depends, because the first F1 photo I took was when I was a punter, but actually accredited would have been a shot in testing in Barcelona in 2016 or 17. This one I rate as my first good picture. That was on day 2 of shooting cars in Melbourne, 2017. What track has the best paddock, somebody's asked. I always say Bahrain because it's wide, it's got grass, it's got beautiful trees that run down the middle, and we photograph at night, and the trees have all these fairy lights on them. So I think that's probably the prettiest paddock. But Australia's nice too, it's very compact, lots of grass and trees. And the worst paddock is China by an absolute mile. Does my wife get stressed managing my flights? No, she doesn't get stressed, but occasionally she gets a bit cranky with me because I go and put stuff in this spreadsheet I shouldn't, and I get admonished for that. But in general, she comes to my aid a lot. And I'll give you an example. Last year, I landed into Paris and I had to catch another flight to Marseille. And I go to check my flight and I look at my ticket and I go, I'm 3 months too early. I've booked for September and it's mid-year. So I got onto her, and within 20 minutes she'd sorted it out. So she's valuable to have working for me behind the scenes. What race do I miss the most? Hockenheim. And I think I miss it most because I had the most mighty day there shooting in, 2019 I think it was, where so many people went off at that last corner, and I got this beautiful shot of Daniel coming onto the grid. It was just a mind-bending day. Who's the most polite driver? Valtteri Bottas. Just a beautiful, calm guy. A couple of times last year he'd say, oh, I've got this for you, come and have a look at this, and he'd show me these shoes he had done, which were custom made, or he'd give me the heads up on something else. Yeah, I like Valtteri, great guy. I think too it doesn't hurt the fact that he's going out with Tiffany, who's an Australian, and I get on very well with Tiffany because we were born in the same city, that being Adelaide. Thanks for getting through to the end. If you've enjoyed the video, it's a simple thing I'd ask is to press the like button. Some of you I know aren't subscribed. I don't know why, but you need to be. And if you'd like to join as a member, you get a whole host of extras for free. You'll find all of my digital images from every race that I've shot, and there are 100 of them. Head to prostarpics.com for a range of wall art, F1 photo books like this one. There's lots of them. Head to kimellman.com where you'll also find signed prints by a range of drivers and team principals. And for my best images live from the track and all during the week, go to Instagram and search my name, Kim Ellman. My sincere thanks to you for watching, and remember, stay passionate. F1 photo books like this one.